Katie and I met in 2017 when you auditioned for my film Civet. And this was your first foray into acting on film, was it not?
Yes, yeah, it was my first film. I had done theater previously. Mm-hmm.
And you'd seen an ad for my film, I assume, and
yes.
decided what about my film was appealing.
I think, I want to flatter you, but at that time I was just throwing anything at the wall to see what stuck. I did like the horror premise, and there weren't a lot of film auditions up on the Chicago theater blog, the place that I checked for my theater audition. So yours came up, and I was just like, wow, this is different. I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Had you thought about doing horror genre or weird genre stuff before?
I've always loved weird genre.
Okay.
I always loved horror. I think at that time my favorite film was The Babadook.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love any kind of weird, simple, straight to the point horror with simple effects. A lot of films with practical effects made in the 60s or 70s. There's something very unsettling about the kind of limited technology they had back then.
Sure.
So yeah, I was willing to explore that.
If you look at your Internet Movie Database, you've got quite a resume of varied acting. Do you feel that acting in a film like mine, in exploring difficult sexual, supernatural themes, was a good place to start as a film actor?
Yes, because to me, it wasn't really uncomfortable. I mean, it wasn't difficult subject matter. It was exciting. It was exhilarating to me. That's part of what drew me into the project. It made me so excited about it. That's the reason why this first foray kind of jump-started my excitement to do film, because the subject matter was so unique. Something that could probably never have been achieved on stage, and was so just intimate and real, and what a lot of film and even horror films kind of gloss over these subjects that are always lying underneath, and yours just kind of pulled them up. And that's what I like about your filmmaking. I like the boldness of it. I like starting from places of sexual dysfunction, sexual uncomfortability. I think that's interesting. And it's something that anyone, with a sex organ has experience on some level at some point in their lives.
Absolutely.
So
they don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, so why not bring it to the forefront? Yeah.
Sure, and there was, of course, some sexuality and some nudity involved in my film, some actual simulation of sex. Was that something you found intimidating? Was that something you embraced? No,
but I'm a weirdo.
Okay.
I've always been, I've never been uncomfortable with nudity.
Okay.
It's just never been something that's, the environment has to be respectful. And I have, since that first film, I was involved in a few productions where it's just the vibe is weird. There's what do you call it? It's a quality to it where it just feels a little, nothing bad happened, but it's just but your film set provided a real space of comfortability and exploration. And as long as that's there, professionalism, and then you had an intimacy coordinator for the second film, which even enhanced just the levels to explore once that was there. I'm happy to do it. I like it. Yeah.
And in working with an intimacy coordinator, did you find that helpful?
Yes, because it allowed us to talk about, really delve into moment by moment, what's happening here, what's happening there, what could happen here, what do we want to kind of stay away from, and it took kind of the guesswork out of doing an intimacy scene, because in any intimate setting, things could go a number of ways, and so much of film acting to me is improvising. So when you add that improvisation to a sexual scene, you really have to be careful, that you don't improvise your way into making your other scene partner feel uncomfortable. And so the fact that we had all those discussions with a really, really talented intimacy coordinator, it just freed me up to explore, and it freed up Gabriel too. And we were just coming up with different things on the spot and checking in with each other.
Yeah.
It was great.
coming back for the next film, Terminal Emulator, which is getting a lot of acclaim, and
Yeah.
you actually won an award for Best
Yeah.
Actress in a Short Film at,
Yeah.
Midwest Weird Fest.
Yeah.
Has there been another instance where you have revisited a character from one film to another, or was this the first time that you've, sort of broadened your character by playing the same character again in a film, and then getting to play the main character the second time around?
Yeah, this was the first time that director has revisited my character, decided to like broaden it, kind of tear the whole character open by the seams and thrown it into different situations, and I love that. Yeah, it was great. And no, usually it's a one-off. I'm very lucky to have had the chance to like kind of develop something over the course of years too. We shot it years apart, and just gave me a lot of time to think about it. And I think in between the two films, I developed as an artist and a person too. And it was really great to see, to kind of organically have Nejla develop along with me. Yeah, I haven't really started delving into Marathi yet, but I'm seeing a lot of possibility for fun and naughtiness there, and I really like that.
Sure.
It'll be a great change of pace, and also I just think I can add like layers to the film in different ways than I did with Nejla. I think I can approach her from a different angle and have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, which I had fun with Nejla, but a lot of her character was going through some wild despair.
Yes. My films incorporate stop motion animation, and in Terminal Emulator, you were pixelated, which is when you animate a person. You got to have an experience where we shot you 2 frames at a time.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you mentioned the next day you're very sore because you didn't use because you're holding positions. Can you talk a little bit about what the experience was like and seeing yourself animated, working with puppets, and that type of acting a frame at a time?
It was so trippy. And the fact that we were going to have a third person watch Laura, right?
Right, Laura.
Okay. And she couldn't be there that day. So it was just you and I, and we were in this like very blue lit space. And it was like going to a different world where we just were both so focused and so locked in.
Right.
And the only thing really that we communicated during these long shots were just like, okay, now move, a little bit. And here I am like having these things hit me and reacting to these things. It was wild. And I was very sore the next day. I was like, from just holding my muscles. And I don't know if that was the correct way to do it, but it was the only way I knew how to do it.
Right.
And it was,
there really is no correct way to do it. It's just how your body will do it.
Right. And I went in with absolutely no expectations. Ended up being like hit emotionally on a few different levels just by taking a scene and literally chopping it up into like microseconds of the scene. And there's this monster there that I'm reacting to instead of a person. And it's just, it was like living my own like slow motion nightmare. Yes. And that's the thing I love about you as a director is you give so much freedom, but you're completely locked in and attuned and you know exactly what you want. And that makes me feel, I trust you as a director.
Thank you.
Right? Like I know that if I'm going in a direction that maybe is not what the film is trying to achieve in the scene or whatever, you're going to direct me, you're going to step in, but you're not hovering, which is amazing. And your imagination is so incredibly wild that like you give me so much material to go off of that it's just like, it's easy to run with it.